nobody got nothing on us.
You're locked in to the greatest station, GRIZZBIZ, my 2 cents.
They like new moon, eat more bread, fill 2 rooms. No such thing as too soon. Same old shit, girl, who knew? Still hold it down with a screw loose. Yeah, I never hang around with a new troop. Ain't nothing about peace if I throw 2. You don't know how many faces that I go through, but shit, I'm finna show you. King time, don't know about yours, but I need mine. Tend to go back so you see like wasn't really much left, so it seemed right. Take the scene right, that moon gon' hit shit, put her in the trance. Where I step out of line, start looking like a man. Try to do what I want, I've been doing what I can. There's a message in my walk, you will never understand. That's the reason why we ball and they always in the stands. Put a watch till you talk to a gun, put a plan. My goons go rock, keep it locked in the pen, then whip it so hard. This fix my stance, never thought I'd see nights like this. Block gotta shine with the height I get. Another joint, gotta ice my stick. I walk with a limp, but never hide my stick like. And I feel how I talk, got a feel when I walk, oh yeah. She gon' put her bitches on, they gon' play their favorite song. They like, new moon, need more bread, fill 2 rooms. No such thing as too soon. Same old shit, girl, who knew? Still hold it down with a screw loose. Yeah, I never hang around with a new troop. Ain't nothing about peace if I throw 2. You don't know how many faces that I go through, but shit, I'm finna show you off my shit. I just like to throw my grip. People go crazy when I talk my shit. I get wet when I do my shit. Yeah, frequency fuck with the lames. Niggas believe we the same. Literal night to the day. I come through and fuck up your rain. Hold your bitch if I'm out of my bag. Probably get pissed, but never outside. Boy, you feeling your body. I know it's the love when I'm calling you shawty. I'm performance, I'm calling out shawty. I freaking these boys, don't need you to got me. I watch all the niggas perform origami. And none of them got enough people to stop me. I'm like. And I feel how I talk, it's a field when I walk, oh yeah. She gon' put her bitches on, they gon' play the favorite song.
This your boy Grizz.
And I'm your main man, Greenback.
And this is the GRIZZBIZ, my 2 cents show. Powered by Unanimous. Unanimous. Yeah. It's Wednesday to Wednesday, people. How y'all doing out there in social media land? I've been trying to go heavy hard here. This way? Or that way? That's been irking me all the time since we've been doing this. Like, I ain't never got that right. But it's Wednesday to Wednesday, and as usual, it's a lot of stuff jumping off. Well, we had Mr. Dookie Boy himself supposed to call in. Let me emphasize that again. Dookie Boy himself. Yeah, we gonna start giving these people the mad face and start letting them have it, man. I don't be letting people have it, and that's not being me, because I let niggas have it. The hell is going on with this bull crap here, man? Yeah. Donkey. That's exactly what's going on. Dookie boy. I'm going to call him out. It's his birthday, so I can do that. He ain't going to give me no excuses that he was drunk. Nope, because the nigga was up on Facebook sipping coffee, probably petting a damn dog, sipping coffee and rolling one. Nigga, put the weed down. If you can't.
Liar.
Yeah, if you can't handle your liquor, in your case, coffee, and your weed, then you need to put that rapper weed down, man. I know them people at the job ain't working that hard. When you know your homeboy, you're supposed to be on your homeboy show. You know what I'm talking about? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's give him another donkey. No, I get the donkey because the sound effect guy didn't do the hell, man. Wednesday to Wednesday. Oh, while I'm on the topic, you know what I'm talking about? When I be posting stuff, people, I don't never try and be sarcastic to people or talk down to people in any type of way at all. Now, we might have two different points of two different views on whatever I done posted, and that's fine. You entitled to your opinion. I posted up there. I want you to post your opinion. But when your opinion gets personal, towards me, and I'm right here. I'm like, they don't know who they talking to, who they typing to, because it ain't talking. Yeah, they don't know who they typing to. And I'd rather not type. I'd rather just come talk to you in person so we can say, hey, let's get an understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because I hate that, man. I hate that. And I know it's childish. And I know we're supposed to be on black love, black excellence love. I know we're supposed to. Hold on. We got the Dookie Boy Entertainment on the line. You know I must have burnt his ears up. What's happening, Mr. Dookie Boy? He hung up on me. Ain't that some shit? See?
This is a sick Negro.
Al Capone be doing that. He probably doing that on purpose, man, to mess with me so he could have some video or something for his next comedy. You know what I'm talking about? He does. He might do some stuff like that. You know, that boy from down the way, you know, them down the way cats, man. You be down there in little places like Parktown for a long freaking time behind the bar DJing. That does something to you. Then you hang with all the crazy people. That does something to you. So he might have did that. You know what I'm saying? Let's try and get him again. We try and get him again. You know what? I'm gonna cut him on the phone and see if we get it loud. Cause I don't know, maybe it's technology. The boy do cameras. He can't be that. He do cameras and everything. It's the weed, man. It's the weed. You gotta cut it out. You gotta cut it out. So let's see what this guy has. Maybe get him on the audio, Kyle. Get it live. I guess we got to get an interview however we can get it. You know what I'm talking about? And he said, calling. And then we calling. He's got technical difficulties, people. There you go. Now you know you live on the air because you ain't did what you supposed to did, man.
Listen, my
Look, there you go. I told you he set me up, y'all people. Hold on, if I could turn the camera around. This is my little phone. We can't see. You're supposed to be tuned in, but I know you set me up. I know you set me up, Al. I know you set me up. I don't want to be the butt of your new jokes.
man. No, don't do that. No, really. You just told me to do that Skype thing. I just downloaded and everything on my page. I just tried to. You hit me up several times. I just tried to.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have my producer. The producer put the link in there for you, and go with that, because it is, and I'm going to continue what I'm doing, and he going to hook you up and link you up, and I'm going to continue to talk my shit until you get on so we can talk shit together. You got me?
All right, come on, because I got to be at my DJ gig. That's why I'm trying to.
Okay. Look, see, I knew it's the money. It's the money.
Yeah, tell dude to try to hit me back on Skype.
Yeah.
It's all on there. I just don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. It's on. Look, there you go, rolling up shit. I told you, boy. I told you. And the producer can get in Al Capone Messenger and put that link in there for him and walk him through it, I guess. But it's always about the money, man. Always about the money. And you can't be mad about the money, man. You cannot be mad about a nigga getting money. You can't be mad. And a nigga get money. You know what I'm talking about? I was ready to talk shit. I was talking shit. It's supposed to be a good interview. And when we do get it on, it's going to be a good interview. He talking about he got to go. Nigga, I want to hear some more of them Parktown stories, shit. While we waiting, you know, I got a funny Parktown. Y'all can call in too, man. Don't leave me out here hanging. 1-513-788-2534. You can call in. Tell me your Parktown story. The House of Love, if you're old enough to remember that. Asked the guy that's at work today, and he was like, huh? I'm like, man, you ain't never been to the Parktown House of Love down any of the after hours, blah, 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 blah. I wasn't even born then. What? You wasn't even born then? And the other dude talking about he was maybe 92, he was out of here or something. I don't know, man. These kids, y'all missed out on some fun times. They don't do it like we did it back in the day, man. Times has really, 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 really changed, man. We be all up and down Clifton, all up and down the way, everywhere, the parks, everywhere, cars, lined up. Used to be like you see on YouTube now in these cities down south or wherever at, and they mobbing deep and rolling. We used to do that. We don't do that anymore. And it breaks my heart. That's why I will never stop having beaten my rat, and I will always pull up on anything and anybody because it's just in me. You know what I'm talking about? And the House of Love, man, that was one of the hottest spots. Parktown, that was one of the hottest spots in the city ever. And you was fortunate to get in, and you was like this. And you was dancing, and them DJs going off fresh. Tone, Lin Chen, man, it was just off the chain in there. You had everybody that wanted to be somebody or was somebody was in Parktown, the House of Love. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. That was like the Mecca. When you come in here, this is where you're gonna go. And then we had the after hour spots all around the corners, on every corner. Lynn, the one behind the Wilderness. And I could never understand how a house was right next to the warehouse. But the one on Beekman, you know what I'm talking about? Those were fun times, man. But one of my funniest Parktown stories, I posted it, but for some of you who ain't read it, it was jumping that night, man. Telling them it was doing their thing. It was jumping that night. It always jumped, but it just felt it was really jumping that night. Really jumping. We had came from the Wilderness. And when I say we roll 8 deep, we roll 8 deep. Everybody on them things, everybody got beat. We doing what we doing in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Rolling. I mean, they called it high feet in, but we would just roll up on the sidewalks and roll out on some dumb ignorant stuff, but it was fun. And but this particular night, right, we in there rocking, so it's time to go. So everybody gonna go to the after hour spots. That's what we do. And everybody got their own. Everybody like to ride solo, so everybody got their thing. So I did see a couple of bras from about over from Everson, and one from down the way talking about Grizz, we need a ride over to the after hours. I'm like, all right, that's cool. So I get in my car, I got my music on. I'm sitting there rolling up, so I ain't paid them girls no. I was gonna call them something else. Hey, Dre, Andrew, can you post a link so I can put it to him? Because he ready. I thought you might have did that. I don't know. Here, I'm posting it now. But, yeah. But anyway, I need the link. Anyway, so I'm rolling my trees up, music beating, and I ain't paid these girls no attention. They get in the car, and if you know what Parktown is, sit right here. We downtown, sit this way, and then the street on the side there. Man, I've been to one corner and smelled piss like, what the hell? Instantly stop my car. Get out. And I was not nice at what I was saying. I was really heated, and it was everything that you shouldn't call a woman. I wouldn't call a woman, but them I had to call them what it was. Because them hoes, them funky ass hoes, pissed outside, then jumped they non-panty wearing asses in my mother car, and I had cloth seats. Oh my gosh. I was so mad. Get out. Bitch, get out. I said it. I didn't even make it to the daggone freaking after hours. I instantly had to go, and I was mad because you know the car wash on Lynn be jacked up. The car wash on Ready Road be jacked up. That pissed me the hell off. I had to go to St. Bernard, man, by the UDF. And don't nobody want to go past P&G and St. Bernard at that time of night, washing their car. cleaning out the seats because it smell like piss. That's what I get. And that's why we don't do rides no more. You got to pay me. F you pay me. But that was my funny Parktown story. Andrew, I don't know what happened to my producer. I hope everything is okay. This is kind of strange. We have no sound effect, no nothing.
I already messaged him a long time ago, right? This dude, right?
Yeah. Maybe he did accept your friendship? I don't know.
Just check his messages. I sent it into the group too. But yeah, I already sent all that.
Hey, man, this is not that hard. But anyway, that was my funny story, man. We're going to get Ivory on here in a minute, too. Ivory the Aries, and we're going to really crank it up and get it going a notch, you know what I'm saying? Oh, my gosh. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. We're about to take a first time. I ain't done this in a minute, but we're going to take a little break, man. Let this music play for a minute and see if we can get this guy on the line here and make it do what it do. So y'all tune in and listen to WGRZ, the listening room. Okay, now he's saying he's checking it, so maybe we won't check it. I don't know. Maybe I tell him to download Skype too earlier. I think I said that in a couple messages. I like to check. Still. This is a new one for me. This is a new one for me. It showed me I got to do some things a little different. For real. I don't blame nobody but me. But hey man. Y'all sit here and listen to this music right quick. While I go make this move right quick. I'll be right back.
Right now,
Guess who? Nobody got nothing on us.
you're locked in to the greatest station, GRIZZBIZMY2SENSE.
She gon' put her bitches on. They gon' play the favorite song. And they like, new moon. Need more bread, fill 2 rooms. No such thing as too soon. Same old shit, girl, who knew? Still hold it down with a screw loose. Yeah, I never hang around with a neutral. Ain't nothing about peace if I go to. You don't know the face that I showed you. The skunk from the go blue. I'm in this bed, I'm in this bed, I'm in this bed, so yeah.
It's the #1 station blazing the airwaves.
Right here, so keep it locked.
This is GRIZZBIZMY2SENSE.
I keep smoke by the pound and women by the dozen. Polo logos at the top, but I don't hustle around with nothing. Keep it real and play it straight. I like buy women, this money make it both ways, baby. We get paid by any means. Get the hustle from my daddy and it's showing in my jeans. That's why every celebration come equipped with Hennessy. Grab the backwoods on some frontos, ain't no relos, nigga. Just a couple chocolate women and some red bones, nigga. And she tryna plug her homie so her friends came with her. She don't know too much about it, just we ain't like niggas. Has to go. Play it down the middle, tryna kick it, that's the goal. Tryna get to know you for a minute, that's for sure. Hey, you know the vibe alright in here. Hey, it's a couple real niggas, room full of bad bitches. You keep that shit 300, babe, but we ain't fucking with you. I'm like, hey, senorita, it's really nice to meet you. It's a cold, cold world. You should come and be my heater. Get close, babe.
You close enough now, back it up like you docking it. I'm not mincing my words, bitch, make the hoe drop like it's rocks in it. I keep quiet like a sock in it, and let you climb on top of it. Pop the trunk, remove the system, shit to 7 times 3, and there's plenty of pussy, but I'm choosing you. I never think I'm God, but you ain't met the crew. I got plans for you. I ain't gonna hold you, but your man ain't for you. Promise that you notice me, yo. Looking ass nigga, you rolling like ain't the kitchen. That ain't your baby, that's your trophy. Then make my thoughts, that's what your whole thing. I heard her planning out the whole thing, and now you just baby food, baby clothing. And I bet you wish she never met the whole team. She can't fake.
You looking good in them jeans. Girl, I'm trying to get in between.
Spice that good.
I'm just trying to eat, got the recipe. I can't play no games, ain't no testing me. She just love the game, she gon' mess with me. Yeah, I'm like Kanye, let the beats play. Yeah, I just hit 100 on the freeway. Yeah, skating on the ice, going to Bombay. Yeah, lemonade with ice on the Bombay. If it's about the game, I be dropping rent. Yeah, I just blow the green and I call the plan. Yeah, I gon' show a scene when I'm with my cam. Yeah, shorty super cold and that pussy damn. Yeah, I ain't about no play, got a flash show. Come in with me, stay, they gon' let me go. She just wanna buzz it like a metro. If you wanna play, you gotta let me know. Big call around, it's going down. I put it down, the same. She love the sound, I put it down. Like Baby Street, my baby. I got away with words, sometimes an evil way with words. I'm a super villain, I get away with words he couldn't say, he ain't appealing. If it ain't me, then you don't wanna hear him talking reckless. If it ain't me, then he can't come over and stay for breakfast. If it ain't me at 3 a.m., you might not read the message. Let her know, put no suppressing, get inside the Lexus. I have my way, I'm special, I stay away from extras. No, I'm not with the extras, flew in a bitch from Texas. I'm curving hoes for the lab, I roll a stone like my dad. And they won't even be mad, they know a player's path. Go to the store, I pay for what they wanna pay the tax. I cop the Prada boots for winter time and made it back. So next time we face to face, want you to lay it back. And let me give you what you need, what would you say to that?
We are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. It's always something with this technical difficulty stuff. You know what I'm talking about? It's always something, whether it's on my end, the producer end, or the artist end, or whoever. It's computers. That's what's going to happen. You know what I'm talking about? So, with that being said, we all back in order and everything. I'm going to rewind with our rewind, because I thought Alcatone was on his stuff and trying to get some new material and get Grizz on some new material, because, you know, that's what comics do. That's what comedians do. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a loud round of applause for my homeboy, DJ Alcatone, Mr. Dookie Boy Entertainment himself. One of Cincinnati's finest, you know what I'm saying? Been putting it down for a long time, man, for a long time. I went back and looked at some stuff like, well, damn, I remember that. You know, and I just wanted to say, man, I've been seeing you doing, we always cross paths. You know, you didn't DJ for me out in Mount Airy with the Mount Airy boys with Fresh and everything. So we all like a little networking family, you know what I'm saying? So I love that. I learned from all of you guys, and I hope y'all pick up some of the stuff I'm putting down. So I always wanted to say, hey, man, well, I got this platform, and I don't want to be on no Breakfast Club shit and or $1 million worth of game day stuff talking about flowers. I like to give my peoples their props. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because tomorrow's not promised for anybody. So, hey, while I can do this, I'm gonna be able to do it. And I reach out to people who, like I said, been putting it down, and I respect in the game. So let's give another round of applause for you, man.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Take it all in, soak it all in, soak it all in, soak it all in. Hey, man, so I know what time you got to do your gig, man, because I know you got money to make. So I want to be able to make sure that I be on the right time frame.
Oh shit, I'm already late. I'm just doing this for your energy, man. So
okay,
you know
okay.
What I'm saying?
Well, damn, my bad. I don't want you to not get the money, but quickly, shit. How'd you get started? How'd you get started DJing, man? What is it? Because you so talented, you all over the place. Which came first? The music? What came first for you?
Well, the music came first. No, dancing came first. Break dancing came first. And then the music came for rapping. And then DJ came for
And it,
getting paid, the same night. So
okay, hold up. I got to give my co-host, my little cuz, my fam, her introduction. You know what I'm saying? Alcatone, this is Ivory the Aries. Can we get a round of applause for Ivory the Aries? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? She's a little cousin. She doing her thing too, man. So we got to give her a shine and her props too. You know what I'm saying?
that's what's up.
Thank you. Happy belated birthday, DJ. You know I follow you, keep up with what you got going on over at Andy's Cafe and otherwise. So it's good to have you on the show. How you doing?
I'm good, sis. Good looking out. That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we do around here. So you
Thank you.
started breakdancing. Did you battle K. Riley, man?
Hell no, they was the coldest. There was some dancing motherfuckers, man. K. Riley didn't want to be fucked with. Hell no, I ain't dance against that motherfucker for sure. But they used to be on the square. They used to be coming down on the square, turning it out.
Yeah.
And I was like real young. And I used to be looking at them motherfuckers like, man, they used to be going. Sliding through each other's legs, jumping over each other's backs, man. They was cold.
Yeah, they old asses would challenge anybody right now. Right now. I can't wait to see it.
Oh, when you got it, you can't lose it.
You can't lose it, right? That's what's up. So you started DJing. What was your first gig, man? Was Parktown it?
Yeah, Parktown was my first DJ gig, like getting paid. You know what I'm saying? So the first paid gig was Parktown. But, my daddy, like Hollywood, my pops Hollywood was original Soul Train dancer. So through the music part, I got all of that energy through his energy. Like,
let's give Pops a round of applause. Hollywood, Soul Train dancer. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, original Soul Train dancer. So our house used to stay jumping with music, stay jumping with old school. And I mean, he just had a lot of house parties. He was a dancer. So
that's
we used to have fun like that.
Right. Did everybody in your family dance?
No, everybody don't. But he used to make us dance and shit. He used to make us come downstairs in front of his friends and shit.
Oh, so that's like
in
every black person's house, huh? Somebody kid somewhere is gonna be downstairs telling jokes, dancing, cooking, doing something. in the black folk home. That is a given.
Really, if your parents believe in you, they used to show you off.
Right.
When your parents see back in the days, parents used to believe in their talent and their kids' talent. And they was real proud to have you come down, and even though you might think it like this is embarrassing, but they was like, shit, I got a child that is talented. Come down here and sing for everybody. Come down here and dance for it, man. That was when family was a family. That was like real.
Yeah, it was. And times have really, 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 really changed. So you DJing and carrying on at Parktown. Didn't you DJ what was that spot around the Steel and them had their studio by the market? What was that place called? Was that wasn't Uncle Mills? What was that? You know what I'm talking about? You don't remember what I'm talking about over there by the market?
I think he got froze, Grizz. There you go.
You remember that club, man? Yeah, when you get back on, you probably too young to remember that.
You know what's funny is that's my first memory of DJ was me sneaking in Parktown back in the. Well, let me take it back. I wasn't sneaking nowhere because I was with particular people that had access to get me in.
What? You was in Parktown?
Yes.
Your little young self was in Parktown?
I was in there a little bit before they shut it down. Like I was at the end of the run.
At the new one or the old one? You was at the newest one then. You was at the new one then. The one down the street from the original one, half a block down. That's where you probably was. Because I know your ass.
about the origination of, Parktown, but I just remember that being a jumping, bar club atmosphere, and it was always lit. And I couldn't, I didn't place where I familiarized the DJ with and from, but now it makes sense because he's always had the ability to keep the crowd rocking. Like that's the one memory I had from DJ Alton was ow.
Ow. Yeah, that was it. And
everybody
on the dance floor. And that was funny because niggas don't dance no more. We used to dance.
That's what I've been trying to tell my oldest daughter about the difference with going to clubs now. When we was going to clubs, we still went to you literally went to have a good time. You might sweat out your finger waves and your pin curls, and you better not put on your best of the best, but you want to be looking good. But we wasn't doing all that fighting about stepping on tennis shoes and bumping into me. And if you feel somebody drink, you bought them another one and kept it moving.
My bad. Here you go, man. Get another drink on me, my fault.
Yeah. So the atmosphere of the club has definitely drastically changed, but I like that he's keeping that, feel good vibe in the atmosphere when it comes to the club scene.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk to him too about the transition. I also wanted to hear a funny story because the nigga got to have a million funny stories.
I'm sure.
About
you're a DJ and you get to sit back and look at the
oh my gosh. I know he got to say either with a celebrity or I know you got one with a celebrity and I know you got one just in general of something really, really wild that the city never know, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Yeah, so he probably still having these technical difficulties. And he's doing the comedy, you know what I'm saying? And he does the videography. So there's a lot of questions. Commercials.
If you keep up with him on any level, you know that he definitely stay busy, stay working. He stay smoking. He stay real. Like he's a very down to earth.
He make me want to challenge him.
Person. Yeah, he's an open person, and it's genuine. It's just his genuine character. So you can appreciate having people in your city that are like him, but are well known people.
Yeah, and he's not what you call it, afraid to speak what's on his mind about all the situations and stuff that's going on. So his homeschooling, old school roots comes out, and when you like that, you can't sit back and agree with everything that's going on that ain't with what you've been taught for. You know what I'm talking about? Times are changes. This is new. This is that. No, man. You need to go back to where it was so we can have some peace and some order around here, man. People can really live instead of worrying about, because you don't go to the club you go to the club to sit on the wall, drink your drink, bob your head to the music, and eyeball everybody. And see who's watching you. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. And most of the time,
they like this.
And what these niggas looking at, you know what I mean? It's a lot of that. We looking at you. I mean, you put on your best outfit. You put all your jewelry on. You put your nice new tennis shoes on. We kinda looking at you.
Yeah, that's what you wanted. But back in the day, shit, you was trying to get on the dance floor and dance all night long. For real. And be mad. The DJ be rocking so far 2:33 still rocking. They tell me you got to go. I don't know where you got to go, but you got to get the hell out of here. You ain't got to go home, but you better get the hell out of here.
I learned the importance of a good DJ in my Golden Skate days, and that's what I'm gonna say. I'm from that era. I'm from the era where we was going to go and skate, and it was transitioning from dance groups in a dance club and that environment to the more of the 90s twerking scene. So I was right in that midst of the transition when it was going from one thing to the next.
That is funny that you just said that though. That transition from dancing to twerking. There's no dancing anymore. It's all bouncing your ass.
I can remember back in the day when you and Rodney was probably older teenagers, and I was really started to pay attention to music. And I can remember him and Daryl and some of the other guys that y'all hang with creating dance routines that go to different songs and having that whole insight and pump up before y'all was going to the club. And I used to just be sitting like, I can't wait till I could go to the club. I'm finna make up. Let me two-step.
Hey, it got so bad. It's so live. I ain't so bad. It's so live. One night we was at the Wilderness, and that's another funny story. And I have the ability to laugh at myself. So here we go, Ivory. Down at the Wilderness. I don't know if you remember the Wilderness downtown, but the Wilderness, this is the reggae club, and it's yay big. For everybody who don't know, it's yay big. So we in there, and the walls sweating, the floors are sweating. It's just that humid, but the selector is going so hard with that dub, and we dancing, and Colonel and Lando was dancing, and I'm dancing, and there was a girl here, girl there, and the guy and Lando started having a dub dance-off flight. Then this boy started trying to battle, and I was like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, that was one of the livest nights ever down at the Wilderness. And we was dubbing, man. We was dubbing. We had so much fun. Those days are long gone.
Back to the fun atmosphere of the club, you couldn't keep me out of it. But as long as it is the way that it is now, I'm so cool on the club.
It'll never go back. It's like they say, like gas prices will never go back to the way they once we knew it, $1.99. When I first got my red Nissan, gas was like 55 cents a gallon, 87 cents a gallon. Can you imagine paying now 87 cents for a gallon of gas? It is now almost $4.
It's funny that you say that because, you know, if you coming out of Lincoln Heights and you making that left past the old Kroger building where the street dead ends down there, I can't remember the name of the street right this second, but it's a Sunoco that sits there now. And across the street was the gas station that when they went on sale for gas for 99 cents, somebody would call everybody they knew, and the line would be around the corner. That's the cheapest I remember gas being back in my day. And this was when I first started driving. I'm talking about 18, 19, 20. And it's never been the same since. But I remember we was broke, poor as small kids. And my mama had a little bitty hatchback, and we would ride through certain neighborhoods, and she would say, if you see gas cheaper than 87 cents, tell me.
Boy.
It used to be like we was on a hunt to find 83-cent gas all the time. That's my funny takeaway from that whole era.
Yeah, but it just goes to show like things will never be the same anymore like there was. There'll be no more dancing in the clubs. At least, I mean, there probably is in bigger cities and dancing and so forth.
I mean, twerking is the new form of dancing now. It's twerking. And the men do some strange gyrating thing where they're not on any particular beat, maybe under the influence of this or that.
I don't know what the hell going on.
It's different. It's definitely a different style
of dance. Whole different stuff going on now, man. Whole different type of stuff. You just go to the bar and sit and watch the people and watch you like. Yeah.
I will say that because I am forced into sobriety at this point due to pregnancy, it is very entertaining to be sober and watch drunk people engage with one another in a club setting. Now that's some funny stuff.
You know what's funny is that you even said that like a person who stopped smoking weed and to sit back and watch the people that they hang with smoke weed. Nigga, you funny. No, nigga, you funny. You not even high. You going back and forth with me. You're funny. That's funny. They're laugh machines. It's been a crazy show.
Group got some new gadgets they back there fiddling with. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a wild show today. You know what I'm saying? I guess Catone had to bounce, and I ain't mad. We have to pick it up again. Another time, I guess, let him get this money, you know, because he got a lot to say, man. I wanted to talk to him on the vaccine and vaccinated. He had a real live post and video that went ham about the conversation about it. I know we talk about it all the time, but like I said, every Wednesday to Wednesday is something different, you know, and like I had to make a public announcement earlier today on the show beforehand about when I post something, don't be disrespectful to me. And you can have your opinion and what you want to say, And you could even say that the shit that I'm posting is false or whatever, or with this, that, and the third. You know, and I just hate people who want to be sarcastic about stuff, because I don't even play that, nigga. We could just turn the computer off and meet me down here at the Shell gas station.
You know what, Chris? No, we are grown. We are.
That's what my brother told me today. And then one guy was like, "You're lashing out on me." I'm not lashing out at you. The hell with this computer shit. I do that for a living. Let's close the little.
Agree to disagree. Don't put your life in danger because some folks want to be internet keyboard thugs. Don't you do it. See, some people take thrill in taking you out of character.
No, this is my character.
To do such a thing.
No, this is my character. We can close this down. I'm not Mr. Tough Guy, and that's what pisses me off, because I'm not Mr. Tough Guy. So if you pissing me off, you didn't piss me the hell off, because I'm really a cool dude. I'm a cornball. You know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and say it. Whatever you want, it don't bother me. What bothers me is when you got to be slick at the mouth or slick at the typing of the keys. Look at here. First of all, you're typing too damn fast. And I ain't got time to type all the goddamn shit I want to tell your monkey ass anyway. So the hell with all this goddamn typing, and why don't we just talk about it? Why we can just really have a conversation about it and leave the typing at home.
Yeah, but some people are experiencing communication barriers and things like that, and they don't know how to have a conversation where two people disagree and still are respectful toward one another. Media has showed you, if you watch any election, that's what you expect. I mean, the name of the game right now is to be who can argue the best. And that's not necessarily a place of where I consider myself coming from when it comes to topics like the coronavirus and vaccine and those other things. We've just, as a nation, we've gone to, I'm right, you're wrong. And if you don't like it, let's fight about it. So
let's fight about it.
Let's learn more effective ways to communicate with one another where I can see and understand your point of view and still disagree with it without blowing our friendship or our network. You know what I mean? I think that's where a lot of people are lost when it comes to some of this newer stuff with you voicing your opinion on social media. Let me say that.
Oh my gosh, it's to the point like, look, man, you ain't had to say all, man. You could have just said you disagree or you don't think it's real or this, that, and that. All this other shit you adding, you trying to insult my intelligence. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. And I don't even want to type about it no more. The hell with it. But anyway, we took your advice and my brother's advice. My brother's advice said the same thing. Like, bro, you too old for that. Okay. I'm going to go to my room right now.
I have learned to value, I will say, peace. And so a lot of things, when I see that someone intentionally wants to be argumentative, I just remove myself from the conversation or space, because at that point, there's no point in me trying to make my point. You've already decided that you're going to argue against my point and not try to come to a level of understanding where I come from, which you can still strongly disagree with without being argumentative. So,
Right.
It is what it is, but I think we've lost that ability to disagree in communication without it turning into something else. And it's a big reason why I think our youth are lost. I'm sorry to kind of transition, but it's a big reason why I think you have a lot of domestic violence. I think it's the reason why you have a lot of child dropout of high school and other educational entities, because they don't know how to effectively communicate. You think that the moment someone doesn't agree with you, they hating on you, they dissing you, they capping, and that at some point should lead to violence, which may or may not be risking my life. So I just say to myself, to each his own. If that's your opinion, that's fine. I'll go on and I'll keep my opinion, and that's fine too.
Amen. Hey, did you get a chance to check out the Queens of Hip Hop?
The what is it?
The Queens of Hip Hop that came on Monday night.
No, I didn't catch it. I did see snippets of some of it. And it's interesting to me as some of the people that they include in that. What is it considered, a documentary?
Yeah, I guess it was a documentary, an hour-long documentary
Yeah,
with Angie
no, it was
Martinez.
interesting to me to see some of the people that were included on speaking, some of the names that you forgot, and some of the people that you don't relate to hip hop. Queen Latifah being one of the biggest people that have come from the era of hip hop and totally emerged into a different.
Well, they gave her props.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm speaking on her, because she was one of the people that I had to think like, you know what? She was a big influence in hip hop back in the day when it came to female MCs and rappers. And you forget about it because she did not make a long-term wave, only because she did keep a positive message. And I think positive rap was forced out because they had to create this new genre and era where we continue to demise ourselves as a culture. But yeah, it took me back, and I started thinking about, the Salt and Peppers and MC Lights. I started thinking about what was music before it was so sexualized, and it was an entire empowerment movement.
Yeah, it ended with
hip hop started out to be.
It ended with MC Light. It ended with MC Light, and you brought in the Lil Kim and the Foxy Brown, and then it's been that way ever since. But no, they didn't, and they didn't give Sugar T her props for her contributions to music, because she was one of the first female rappers, to talk their street talk, and didn't go to.
They acknowledge her.
No, and didn't go before the Lil Kim and them started doing what they doing the sex sale thing. You know what I'm saying? So I was a little heated about that. They left out a lot of people. I think this show was like they said, political, because for one thing, I couldn't understand Lil Mama being up there. Like, really? You got Lil Mama up here. Her claim to fame was running on the stage with Jay-Z and Beyonce, wasn't it? That was it.
Can you please help me with this?
Yes. Or Alicia Keys, whoever it was. She in New York, and she jumped up there and did that, and then got blackballed for that. And now you sitting up on here as you was an influential female in hip hop and rap. I think she's
tried to make her come back a few times, and it's just not. She's not had enough stamina behind the music that has kept her relevant.
Yeah, and then it just went
current.
Yeah, I couldn't understand her sitting on stage with Angie Martinez, and then the new girl, who didn't know who the new girl was, and then there was Roxanne Shante. Of course, they had to give it up for her, and the original one before. All of them, I forget her name, but her. But that wasn't put together well to me. I thought that didn't do any credit for the women of hip hop for real. It started off like it was getting ready to be thing, and then it just fizzled. Like, man, what is this? Even people was talking about they fell asleep on it. You know what I'm talking about? And it wasn't no good because we the only people talking about it. So that makes it that should say something right there in itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hadn't heard much about it. I hadn't really seen any reviews on it, anything that was relevant or massive. So although I missed it, like I said, I did see some snippets that kind of took me back. But now that you said what you said, I'm kind of glad I didn't waste my Monday evening trying to look at that, because I would have been highly disappointed with the lack of mentions of some of the bigger influences that I think sometimes they intentionally leave out some of the influences because it brings it magnifies their company, everybody that they networked with. And sometimes, your affiliations can be positive and or negative. So yeah, we kind of missed out. But I don't feel like I missed anything. Like I said, just per your comments.
Right. Hey, you know what? I don't know if he can bring it up, but we need to give Snoop his props. Happy birthday to Snoop. I know I be talking a lot of shit with Snoop.
Snoop, big
but
Snoop.
5-0, and they dropped this on his birthday. They dropped the group Mount Westmore and the song is called Big Subwoofer, and that mug is banging. You know what I'm talking about? I'm really happy, excited about that group. Snoop, E40, Ice Cube, and Too Short. You know what I'm saying?
That's gonna be interesting music.
Oh yeah, that man. That,
You're talking about some real icons right there.
yeah, even the song right now, and they just dropping bits and bits, and you know, to tease the folks and let them know like, hey, we coming. And I think
Ice Cube is one artist that's consistently left out that made a huge impact and transitioned very quickly into the new version of himself. But Ice Cube deserves a lot of props too that he don't ever get.
oh yeah, he don't come up in the top lyricists, the top 5 or whatever. But I'm gonna stop talking about the top why they this and that and that, because everybody's criteria or picking their artists is not on the same plateau. If they're gonna make a list up for that, then they need to have criterias, and this is the guidelines and what you go by. Otherwise, it's just a matter of opinion. You know what I'm saying? So that shit don't hold no goddamn water. And
the only thing that's consistent is the most top 10s on the billboards, but we know that the billboards was not inclusive to our culture and genres of music for quite some time. So even that isn't a fair stipulation to go by.
Mm-hmm. So what you got for news you can use, or you ain't got no news you can use?
We got a little bit of news you can use. I wanted to shed a little bit of light on there was a black college student. Mark Wilson, Mark Wilson of Greenwood, Georgia, is right now his case is being highlighted simply because Mark Wilson is a biracial gentleman that was being haggled by some white college students. He appears to be a black man by the look of him, and he has a white girlfriend, and him and his girlfriend were leaving, I believe, a gas station, some sort of like 7-Eleven type shop, kind of late in the evening one night when his life was changed forever. He was forced to protect himself and his girlfriend against what he felt was a threat. He shot what would be considered warning shots. Only the second shot actually killed one of the passengers in the vehicle that was following and kind of haggling him and his girlfriend, where they perceived to be under racial violence because the truckload of people were screaming racial slurs, calling her a nigger lover, him a nigger. And like I said, it's in Greenwood, Georgia, and they are trying to take away his right for stand your ground. And his cousin, who was Caucasian, even got on and said that he believes if this was a white man, he would not even have been charged. He would have probably, if arrested, he would have been let go. But this gentleman has been in prison for about a year fighting this case, and it's not gotten any public pickup. It's in regards to it, and it's simply because, like he said, he feels he's a black man. It's the same thing with it could have turned out like the Ahmaud Arbery situation, where he was followed and gunned down because of his race, is what we believe. And so he definitely felt that his life was in danger. He had a fear for his life and his safety, and it's led to the law applies, but not to you, black man. You know, when it comes to the whole stand your ground thing. So that's something that kind of caught my attention as far as news. It's sad that it is our reality. It's sad that it's still going on, but it is what it is. Other than that, a lot of what you were talking about with the vaccination has still been the headline of news. We are still seeing where companies are implementing and mandating. There was an officer that very rudely quit. He used his last sign off to criticize the government and then terminate his employment with the police department because of the mandates.
Oh, Chicago about to walk. Chicago police is about to walk, and she trying to stop their retirement. These folks Chicago police got a lot of officers do it for retirement. Yeah. And instead of taking the vaccine, they want to retire. But she's talking about trying to hold up stop their retirement.
Due to being unvaccinated or refusal to vaccinate.
Yeah, you can't do that, lady. That's their money. If they want to retire for whatever.
You know what kind of irritates me with the whole mandate is it's definitely a personal choice for each individual to make, whatever is best for them. But my thing with the mandate is you're mandating me to do something that has not shown to be preventative in any way, shape, or form. If I could still catch COVID, pass COVID, contract COVID, die from COVID, or live with COVID, whether or not I have this vaccine, I don't understand the purpose of the mandate. And yes, I know that people are like, oh, it's my choice. Some people are like, it obviously is working. It depends on which research you're following. It depends on who you're listening to. And no matter what bit of information you get, it's still controversial. You do not find enough about the negativity, the long-term effects of the COVID vaccine. And so I think that that's more of the hesitation of receiving the vaccine and accepting the mandates is we just don't have enough information to go on. Now, I do understand that they mandated the polio vaccine and all these other, vaccines that are coming into place, but we're in a different time where we have access to information. 20 years ago, we did not have access to information. There was no Google. You weren't picking up your cell phone and typing in, something that you wanted to research and having information pop up. So the difference with that and this is the access to information. And if I can't find enough information to support you telling me that this is beneficial, then of course I can't be all in to, accepting this mandate. But I do think it's
let me ask you.
It's getting critical. It's definitely getting critical because when you start talking about yesterday's heroes are today's unemployed, it really says a lot about how quickly the direction you thought you had rights, didn't you? Oh, you thought being an American citizen gave you the right to make choices? Well, it don't.
It don't.
It's in some ways it compares to the abortion law, where so many male authorities want to implement their opinions on abortion, and they don't. I mean, it's the person's personal right. You can't ever have an abortion as a male. You can't ever make the decision of an abortion as a man. So I don't feel like they have the right to speak on it. But as far as the COVID thing is saying, they're really pushing this COVID with police departments and these mass entities because they're saying it's the leading death of police officers right now is the COVID. So
who said that?
That's been in the research.
Yeah, whose research?
Andrew's research.
Yeah,
Andrew's research.
Yeah. Whatever. What? Play the womp for me. Can I? You play it when you play it. Play the womp for me. Hit the womp button, please, sir.
That was Washington Post information, but like
still
I said,
thank you.
Depends on what information you're listening to because we know that the COVID-19 deaths has been exaggerated when they can't pinpoint another origin of the end of life. If you had any contact with COVID, they blame it on COVID. You could have had a heart attack, but they're going to call it COVID. You could have had a brain aneurysm, but they're going to call it COVID. You could have been in stage 4 cancer, but they're going to call it COVID. You know what I mean? So I think it's unfair to use.
And that was my point when I made this about the argument. And it wasn't even an argument. Like I said, we're trying to argue. But why I even posted the post about Colin Powell anyway was because he had all these complications and he probably died from one of them complications and they put COVID on it. You know what I'm talking about? If you in stage 4 cancer, and somebody said something so smart ass to me, like, fool, I know what, I've had family die from stage 4 cancer. I'm scared of that. So shut up with that talk. And if that's what they died from, make that what they died from. And he 84 and he had all them complications. It probably was the stuff that he was going through that took him out. Probably wasn't COVID. But anyway,
well, you got to think in a man of position as Colin Powell having to maintain so many secrets and information, and they probably might have stressed and worried that man to death. I'll tell you the truth. You never really know because we don't have access to medical records because it's private information. So you
It's all
can't really
speculation
say
and what they put out there. So that was,
absolutely.
and I just put it
I
out there because it was
wholeheartedly agree.
interesting. It wasn't
I agree with your stance on that. That's definitely true.
fact to say, hey, this, then the third. People just wanted to jump the gun on it. But let me ask you: you went to the concert? I mean, to the comedy show, right? We talked about that last Wednesday. So that Friday you went. So did you have to have your negative?
No card, no mask, no vaccine, no COVID, no nothing. They didn't ask you for any of that. And when I tell you it was thousands of people, it was thousands of people.
No, I know because Saturday it was
we was
thousands of
closing
people.
one another to even enter the venue. So there were no COVID. There was no restrictions in place
At all. And I wasn't mad, but I was mad because I went and took my COVID test. I took it 2 days before. I went to
had your paperwork.
Yeah, I had it on my phone and everything just in case, because okay, we got to go through this. And to get down there and be like, you know what? Ain't there a person down here. It's only a few people for real. And when I tell you it was packed down there at that concert, it was packed. It was so packed. Like people walking back and forth. When I had my mask and I put my mask on when they walk past, I keep it here and keep it down because it was just that many people. It was just that many people. And I've had COVID before, and hopefully my antibodies fight it off because I don't want to catch it again. And but that's all I kept thinking about. Well, I'll be damned. These suckers didn't even ask me for no vaccine card, no negative test, no nothing. And would you look at all these people in here without any mask on?
Because America is a country that reacts off of what my rights are. You look at these sports stadiums. Look at these sports venues. But this time last year, you had to pay for a little cardboard person to stand up there and represent you. And now the stadiums are right back full, but you telling me that COVID is still at an all-time high?
Right.
It
makes sense.
When COVID is going to be effective and affecting families and people, if you're going to make it a mandate that every person should have to get this vaccine, why are we still having public events with thousands, some hundreds of thousands of people attending, where you cannot put in place a COVID restriction where there are thousands of people in one building at a time, under the same roof, breathing the same air. There is not an air filtration system massive enough for that type of environment. So I'm trying to figure out, how are you allowing all
you're
deep
thinking,
to go on with their rights in that aspect, but you want to mandate a vaccination?
Yeah, you're deep. You're thinking about it deeply and with common sense. With a lot of people do not have common sense at all. It goes right out the door. You could be the smartest person in the world, but if you ain't got a damn lick of common sense, and that's what America is about right now. Actually, the whole world is about, because not only in America, but there's people all over. And you said, if you can still catch this stuff, and it's such a everyone's dying, blah 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 blah. Why in the hell do you have these stuff? Because they want you to take the vaccine, and they want people to think that because you have the vaccine that you are protected, that you are safe. There's people. I've heard people say they can't catch it because they have the vaccine. I'm like, what?
You didn't listen to anything they said.
Nothing.
In the interviews now.
You said what? Wait a minute.
You think that shot's gonna prevent you from catching something that is viral?
And you know what else was confusing to me is this the booster shots. At first you couldn't mix them, and now they're saying you can mix it. I'm like, now common sense to me would say like, well, if Johnson & Johnson had one shot that was killing folks or killed some people or did this and did that.
Why the hell would I want that damn booster?
Why would I? What the hell? I
don't know. Why are you gonna mix a Moderna vaccine with a Johnson & Johnson booster? Hey, Riz, we need to have some of these conversations together because we think alike. I've been saying that is the same stupid shit I've been calling out all this time. I've been saying how backwards. And you got
it's a Pfizer. The Pfizer
that consider themselves
and the
an
Pfizer
intelligent
booster
group of people, actually feeding into that. Y'all consider yourselves intelligent after listening to this?
So you saying that the
Interesting.
Pfizer shot, and now you get me the Pfizer booster, but I can take the Pfizer booster along with the Moderna and the Johnson & Johnson, and each vaccine is different. They what the one guy say on the post? Well, they all got the same base, and that's what they're able to do. The same base. What? So if they're the same base, why was they not cross? Never mind. It's too deep for you to understand, and it's too deep for me when you talk about it. You go your way, I go my way.
You know what? My uncle used to have a way of saying, I'm not getting ready to dumb myself down enough to make sense to your retarded ass. And I don't mean retarded in a physical form. I mean, if you just stuck on stupid and relaxed on dumb, ain't no way I can minimize my level of intelligence to come to a mutual understanding with somebody that is frugal as your mentality is. So I'm not even going to attempt to do it. Guess what? You believe what you want. You go ahead and go with that foolishness, nonsense, and I'm going to go my way because I don't listen. I don't argue with a fool from a distance. They don't know which one is who.
Oh my gosh! I wonder if Andrew could pull this up about that dude who made that it's the #1 song. Let's Go, Brandon. You heard that? It's I think it's a biting dish, but it's the #1 song on iTunes right now. And I peeped a little bit of it, but you have to peep it if you can't pull it up. But it was like they was really tripping on here for real.
Well, I think we agreed a few weeks ago that Biden is definitely who we thought Trump was. He did it in such a way that it minimized how many people were able to recognize it from a distance, but everything that we thought, and Donald Trump, I'm not saying he's still not, but we thought we were avoiding that with our votes going to the other party, and it's like, womp, womp, womp. We still got tricked into the BS of having another idiot running the damn country and making poor decisions on the behalf of all us intelligent folks.
Oh my gosh, man.
I don't need him to be the spokesperson for me and what I believe and what my thought process is. And what I can tell you is he got us looking like a damn fool to the rest of the country. But like most of the presidents do, I mean, ain't nothing new under the sun. Look at every country and who their leader is. You can find something you don't like about what they doing. But
that's because all the presidents are puppets. They puppets. They puppets. That's all they are, is puppets.
And while we talking about that, let us not forget to mention to go ahead and vote. We know this is not a presidential election, but this is still a very important election where you're going to elect different judges and judiciary components of the state and your surrounding areas. So be aware of where they stand and what you stand for and vote accordingly. I'm not saying one way or the other, but don't forget to get out and vote, y'all. Because if you tired of your culture being victims of longer and more intense jail terms and different sentencing because of the color of our skin that other races and cultures don't have to go through, yet the first change you can begin to make is by voting.
Yeah, so I believe, no vote, vote. I guess, I don't know. Now that I'm not running for mayor, I don't know who to tell the city to vote for, because every one of them.
I'm not gonna tell y'all who to vote for. I'm just gonna tell you to make sure you make an assessed decision. Make sure you've at least put some thought into who you going to the polls to put a check by their name. Don't do that stupid ass shit and vote for somebody because of their color of their skin. They be the main one sometimes that's against us.
This is true. Speaking of voting, and change and so forth. Hey, let me ask you, how many shootings do you think there's happened so far in the city?
Oh, I think I saw the news. We were at the peak of 70, like 72, 73.
No, 360.
360?
Yes, 360.
Oh, you know what? You're probably right, because I was counting shootings that resulted in the death of someone. But you're absolutely right.
Yeah, about 70 deaths. So that sounds about right. And 360 something shootings. That is crazy. That is nuts. And they had on the news the other day, we're going to curb the gun violence. But the one sister police officer on there said that and she said it out of her mouth, which we've been waiting for, is where they getting these guns from. You know, and that's going to take a hard look because in theory, and this is just like my in theory that I'm saying in theory, this is my thoughts. That these guns is coming from 4 sources, I believe. I believe it's crooked police, racist white folks, and the kind of Negroes that prey on Negroes are supplying these guns to the streets. And when I say supplying, they pulling up on these young boys, and they can do that. It's not made for TV.
Another origin of so many guns, and I know this to be factual information, is some of these kids, the younger affiliates with the Army and grounded military forces, they have knowledge of these abandoned areas where there could or could not be weapons inside of some of these abandoned military warehouses and stowaway areas. And these kids have gone into those areas and they've robbed and stolen handguns. And the military is not going to admit to it. They don't, that means that they have dropped the ball in a massive way if the information go. But I know for a fact that there have been some abandoned military reserve areas that have been burglarized, and there was nothing but guns and different weapons that were stolen from the area. So it's a massive amount of guns on the streets. There's a large number of automatic weapons on the streets, and they're getting them from all kinds of ways. These are not the same. Listen, you think about somebody that has been taught to be a criminal and has been criminalizing from a very young age. I know we're in the Midwest and some people don't think of Cincinnati as being this rough and hardcore place, but you really got some kids that's been out in the streets and doing their own thing since they were 7 and 8, 9 years old. And they're just criminal minded, and they know how to access information and how to get access to things that as an adult, you don't even think about. And it's crazy. And that's why I'm fine with being in the house and not engaging with some of these fools because of stuff like that. You got to know that if there's 300 and something shootings that's happened in the city of Cincinnati, and the majority of them from Black people against Black people, that there's definitely a hidden agenda. And you're absolutely right. You got a lot of entities of people, because we don't have boats, we don't have large trucks, we don't have access to some of the things that you need to acquire some of these weapons. So yeah, they're coming from somewhere, and they're coming from somewhere with somebody with a large amount of access to these kinds of weapons that nobody is, they ain't faulting those people. Like when they went in to break up mafia organizations, how they used all them people to get the big fish, they don't. When it comes to this kind of stuff, they just lock up all the little guys and implement a whole new group of little guys, and then they do it all over again. They never ever get to the source. We ain't never seen where there's been in the headlines where they finally done figured out where these guns is coming
from. That there was back in the day, and I have to research it, and I'm gonna just say allegedly, but back in the day when the guy before this guy who's over the Fraternal Order of Police, we ain't gonna say no names because it's allegedly, but the guy before him, if I remember correctly, there was an incident where it leaked out that there was some corrupt officers supplying these streets with these guns. These racist police officers were supplying these streets with these guns. Our news want to put in the breaking in and keeping your gun in your car and so forth and blah, 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 guns getting stolen that way. But every one of those guns that they stole, that they allegedly stolen from broke in, have been found to be committed in any of these murders. So with that being said, I'm glad that they're acknowledging it, and we can do something about it because it's definitely a big problem in Cincinnati. And it ain't just in Cincinnati, it's everywhere for real. The world is just crazy right now. Just totally off the chain. Everything is bad is trying to be good. And
yeah. I do have one piece of news that's been in the headlines about those the missionaries that got kidnapped over there.
Oh, yeah, in Haiti. What?
Well, they say Haiti that's a spot where if you're not from there, don't ever go there because you don't know the culture, you don't know the ins and outs. But Haitians are, we know as a culture that Haitians, them a bad group of dudes. The corrupt Haitian.
Anytime,
larger.
Man, they defeated the French army. Yeah, they defeated the French army and sent them packing. Them packing like and that's why Haiti
ain't playing.
Yeah, and that's why they're in the situation they are now, because they've been ostracized because they stood up to them French people and told them to kick rocks.
They supplied the thing with the Haitian culture is let's go back to America earning its freedom. Haiti played a large part in that with supplying the trade ports, with arming American government with funds. Haiti, people look at Haiti like this poor place, but it was not always. At one point in time, this was a self-sufficient country that did not need any of the outside forces that came and infiltrated them. And over the years, they were used, and corruption took precedence. And you have the Haiti that you have now. But this was not a group of people that originated from this level of corruption. They were taught this. Let's be realistic. They learned a lot of these tactics from the French government, and which they in time did defeat. But a lot of the practices, they saw what worked on the heinous level, and they took that to a whole different level. But the Haitian population, bad group of dudes. But I tell you what, these the missionaries that they kidnapped, they want $17 million back for these folks. And America don't negotiate with terrorists, and I'm not sure Canada does either, because supposedly these were Canadian missionaries. But entangled with this story is the fact that one of these men that have been kidnapped is a known pedophile and child molester that they have continued to allow to go in and around the country of Haiti, probably to further, whatever it is that those kind of people do.
That is crazy, because I watched a report and they had talked about the child trafficking. And now what you just said makes sense. Like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm like, you know what? I'm not completely sure that it was all in malice that they kidnapped this group of people, because maybe they got something to do with things that we're not aware of right now that will continue to surface as we get more information. Because why are you going to Haiti in this time? Anybody with common sense knows that it's a dangerous time to try to travel over there. If you want to send help, you better drop a plane of goods over there, but your ass better be on the other side of that damn country when the shit get to popping off. So I think that there's a lot more information. We'll get a lot more out of the story with these missionaries, but I don't think they went over there to be missionaries entirely. I'm not saying everybody went over there with poor intentions, and God bless the ones that are falling victim to the situation, because there are still children involved. But I believe these people might have fell victim to the bull crap that they were trying to go over there and implement. And now, if they want you back, they got to pay for you, or we gonna bury you right here, because we don't give a damn either way.
Now, they killed some people already.
And I'm sure they have.
And the news said that they know most of these people don't have.
Work. If you thought they was playing, they about to show you that they not. Now give me $17 million for the rest of them. The price ain't changed.
No, they said they know
might go up.
No, they said the lady on the ABC News or whatever it was last night was like talking to a lady from over there. It was a doctor over there, and she said they know that that a lot of these people don't have $17 million, but when they get to the people, they'll negotiate and they'll take a lower price. But if you can't get that price, then it's a matter of life or death. And people have been killed because they have not got that money. And
absolutely,
that should tell your ass. And the lady's like, we're going to continue to go. I said, this lady is lost her damn mind.
Yeah, don't people crazy. What surprised me was that we hearing a story about these people getting kidnapped, and these folks talking about they on their way over there to give you live coverage. Let me tell you something. If
Let me tell you something.
Consists of me going over here with some crazy ass kidnappers, I quit. Y'all can keep that check. Matter of fact, don't worry about nothing that you might have owed me, because what I'm gonna tell you right now is I don't need none of it. I'm gonna spare my own life. I'm not going over there with these killers and dealers. No, not at all. Not finna engage in it. But that was something that is very interesting and is prevalent. But like I said, I think that we'll find out that there is a lot more of underlying information that goes into that situation and the reason why the kidnapping happened.
Right. Well, that's what's up. That was interesting, and it was a lot going on. But it's about that time. You know, we had a good time. We had a good show. It was a little different. We was choppy in the beginning. You know, technical difficulties and so forth and so forth. But we got a little chance to chop it up with Al Capone. Let's give Al Capone a round of applause again, y'all. And we're gonna get back to him when he got time, or Wednesday that he has time to do the interview, a full interview. He had to go get that money. But I'm excited though for next week though, because we got Nella D, 411 Uncut, and one of the Wiz radio personalities coming to the show. You know what I'm saying? And we all about networking and promoting and cross-promoting and giving people their props. And I want to give her props because she's one of the women, black women, in media.
Doing her thing right now. She's
media right
a
now.
lot of people, so it'll be interesting.
So it's going to interview her. And a lot of, I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that. So with that being said, like we always say, don't be stuck on stupid. And relax, don't dumb. We'll see y'all next week.
Right now, you're locked into the greatest station. GRIZZBIZMY2SENSE.
On my grind, on my mind, never switching sides.